Yeah, also fellas. This one will be talking about the breaker block entry, right? It's very basic. Um, we want to see a rally, a low, rally, a low, and rally. As always, we know that the first move starts with a total sweep. The second entry might be another block breaker and a fair value gap, right? So this breaker might be with a fair value gap. So the breaker is always located at this level, and you want to use that and rally, right? So let's look at an example. Now the key takeaway is that the breaker must take out liquidity and must dig into a key level for it to be high probability, right? A high probability breaker takes out liquidity and digs into a key level. So let's seek for an example. Let's look for key levels, right? First, our objective is looking at for key levels. We have a rejection block right here that was rejected. We have, here's a breaker block right here. Look at this tiny red candle. It made a low, it swept this liquidity right here, digged into this key level, a high probability breaker, and you could notice we hit it and went lower, although we went above it, but then it's a high probability breaker. So let's go down to the lower time frame and look for examples. So when we digged into the rejection block, we had another sweep on the lower time frame, which was the last red candle before we had the sweep. This last two candle, right? They become your breaker. You can add the wicks actually, or you can use just this single candle as your breaker, right? Now you notice the moment we close it below it, the moment this candle enters into it, that's your entry. That becomes your entry right there. Your stop loss here, right above it, or you could make it safe and keep it at this high, and you could target for a 1 to 3 hour as usual. That's one. The breaker takes out liquidity. We are inside the key level and we went lower, right? Let's look at another example. A sweep. The last green candle before the down close, before that down move. Does this count as a breaker? Personally, nah. I'm gonna use this one right here. Look at how we tapped into it and moved away. Why don't I count this as a breaker? I love seeing a swing, and then dig into that liquidity, right? Might be a breaker maybe on the 1 minute, nah, but I don't buy that on the 15 minutes. I want to see a swing. That's what I want to see. We dig into it, we rally. You could have entered this too by setting your limit order, your stop loss just right below the breaker and targeting a 1 to 3 hour, right? Let's look at one more example. Let's look at one more example. a sweep into a fair value gap right here. You can see the big gap. This was the last green candle before we made this move low, right? I'm using that as my breaker, and we digged into it and we rally. That would have been another 1 to 3 hour for you. Put your stop loss right here. Or if you feel so insecure about this stop, maybe you feel it's tight, you can put it at this swing low right here and target for 1 to 3 hour usual. One last example. The sweep right here into this huge order block right here and this high fair value gap. We break low, right? This is the last swing low. This is the last swing low before we take out liquidity, and this was the last candle, right? This becomes your breaker. The moment we dig into it, look at these two candles that dig into it. That's your entry right there. That's your entry right there. You stop above the breaker, or you could put it to the high and take it at 1 to 3 usually. So that's the way you use the breaker entry. The key takeaway is it has to be inside the key level, it has to sweep liquidity, and you want to enter off the breaker the moment you close below the candle or that swing that created the breaker, and use that as your entry and your invalidation at the high or low of the breaker block. Or you could use the high or low of a fair value gap it is overlapping with. You can see it is overlapping with this fair value gap inside here. You could put your stop above the high of that fair value gap. So I hope you found this one insightful. In the next topic, we'll talk about another model that you could use to approach the market. Be safe and stay tuned.